Shamaya, you did it.
STL Music.
Is that good? Welcome back to the show. So listen up, we back in the game. Sweet the league, we got the flame. Motivated to the fullest every single day. We wake up, get it in every way. Right for the two in the global inspiration. Talk this sports and top news, no hesitation. Sweet the league is back. We always coming back, that's a fact. Wanna tell them that STL Music, mama, we did it, where we at? Coach Jill in the house with the flow so tight. Every perfect rocks, that's we unite. Yeah, the best show, Monday through Friday. If this ain't different, they lying. We got the energy. When I say sweep, you say the league. Sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go.
Hi, it's Sherilyn, and you're watching Sweep the League TV. Follow me on Instagram at official Sherilyn for more content.
Hey, it's Rain Fernandez, and you're watching Sweep the League. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and Facebook at Rain Fernandez, Rayne Fernandez.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League Radio.
Sweep the league TV where legends collide. If the Cowboys fall short, we'll still ride the tide. Like Jordan in the clutch or Brady's last play, we bring the fire, keeping fans in the fray. Coach Gio and Rudy calling the shots, with Derek Coventry Hall of Fame thoughts. So hit that subscribe, don't sit on the bench. Get in the game, every highlight's intense. The live stream's on till your friends don't delay. Like Kobe in the fourth, we're here to play. Sweep the League TV, where greatness resides. From the blogs at the drives till my heart's on the rise. We're all in on sports, NBA, CFB, and more for fans. By fans, it's the show you'll adore.
All right, what is up, everybody? Rudy Campos Jr. for Sweep the League STL Network, Sweep the League Network. Be sure to go to YouTube, search Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button. You saw the news, sports news ticker there for just a little while. I got some announcements to make here before we get into some Summer League basketball talk, and not just Spurs Summer League basketball talk. It's going to be about, the entire Summer League, how it's going. You guys got any comments, questions on Summer League here, drop them in the chat. We'll get to them. Shout out real quick to Sith. He had another great episode tonight. He had Mike Jimenez of the Area 210 podcast on with him tonight. Apparently, it was a good show. I caught the very last part of it. So be sure to check out Sweep the League TV. It's being replayed on there. Also, PTS TV on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to that. That way you can catch all of Pleading the Sith episodes there as well. But you can also catch them again on Sweep the League TV. If you go to YouTube, search Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button. So shout out to Seth. He's doing a great thing. Grading the Market's going to be off this week. Grading the Market should be back in next week or so. They got their show going on here. But overall, you guys know about Sweep Unplugged. That's coming back, I believe, in August. We've got more shows coming out here. A lot of behind the scenes things are going on. Quick, announcement on that. Again, shout out to MCS General Contracting, Chris Leigh and the boys. They do a fantastic job for everybody. They are the number one in the business. They are guaranteed to make your dreams a reality. Call them today. That's MCS General Contracting, sponsors and friends of Sweep the League. So what's going on with Sweep? Well, we had a little meeting here, and the announcements come in that a lot of networks, a lot of shows, a lot of stuff gets rebranded from time to time. We're not rebranding the entire Sweep the League network. It's still going to be Sweep the League Network, but because of the shows that are getting added, because of shows like Plead the Sith, a few other shows that we we are going to announce, but we can't announce right now until we actually work out details. Painting Corners podcast, that's coming back in 2026 for the Austin Hartsfield. That's your baseball podcast. So that's going to be coming back. As mentioned, Sweep Unplugged, we've got a wrestling show that's going to be starting up again. I think we've got a fantasy football show going on. We have the East Coast covered with a couple of shows there. So the announcement's coming this. Sweep the League Network is getting rebranded with a brand new logo, and it's going to be kind of a different layout, stuff like that. You're still going to get all the great shows you currently have. You don't have to do anything more other than just subscribe to Sweep the League TV on YouTube. That's it. That's all you got to do. It's free of charge. We don't charge anything. We don't ask for money. We don't ask for nothing. All this is being provided for you guys by us here. We're trying to get as much content for you guys out there. Go to Sweep the League on YouTube, Sweep the League TV, hit the subscribe button. That's the big announcement that we've got here. So other than that, I hope everybody's been doing fantastic. We've got some guys in here. Leja's telling me to cook. I think I know why, because apparently I got shitted on for being for not considering Wemby a generational talent, which again, whatever. But I'm gonna get to that here in a little while. We'll do a generational cook in a little bit. PTS TV is in here. Cook. Shout out to Leja and Elias in here. But it's NBA summertime, man. Summer League's kicking off. Let's get into it. All right, so obviously we do have a team in San Antonio. I mean, let's not beat around the bush here. There is a team in San Antonio called the Spurs, and they do have a summer league team, and currently they're undefeated. You've seen the likes of Carter Bryant, stellar defender. We knew coming into the season when he was drafted, we knew Carter Bryant was a 3-and-D type of guy. A lot of people were complaining, hey, where's the jump shot? He's not hitting his three-pointers. He's not a great scorer. We knew he wasn't coming into the league as a scorer. That's something that's going to have to be kind of worked on a little bit here. That's kind of why when I was on Locked On Spurs recently and we talked a little bit about Carter Bryant, I said my NBA comparison is like Jeff Green, possibly Trevor Ariza. Now, those two guys could score the ball, but they were primarily known as defenders and great role players for teams that, competed for titles. So that's where I've got Carter Bryant. One guy I mentioned from Spurs lore was, where could I see Carter Bryant go, as far as ceiling wise? I mean, the kid can pretty much remind you of Sean Elliott if he gets that offensive game down. I mean, he can work on that mid-range game. Sean was really good getting to the basket, really explosive, can hit the mid-range shot, does have to improve his three-point shot, tremendously. But right around there, Jeff and I did talk about the potential for, if you want to go Spurs lore, Carter Bryant could remind you, if he gets that offensive game worked on, he could remind you a lot of a Sean Elliott type of player. We knew Sean Elliott was a great defensive guy for the San Antonio Spurs. Carter Bryant, you've seen how he plays defense in the summer league. He brings a whole lot of motivation, a whole lot of just tremendous defensive skill. But again, right now, as is more like, possibly a Jeff Green, maybe a Trevor Ariza type comparison is who I've got for Carter Bryant. As long as he works on the offensive side of the ball, he's going to improve a whole lot more. But yes, then you got Dylan Harper. We've seen 2 games of Dylan Harper. You saw the struggles of Dylan Harper against the Utah Jazz. But what Spurs fans have to smile about is the fact that through the struggles, he was able to finish the game. He was able to dominate in that last quarter. He was able to help the Spurs get in position to get into overtime, obviously, but also get into position to win that game as well against Utah. Riley Minix with the turnaround. That guy does need to be on the roster, as well as David Jones-Garcia. Both guys deserve roster spots for the San Antonio Spurs. I really feel like outside of a trade, which I don't see happening, I think the team you see is the team right now is the team we're going to get for the season, with the addition of David Jones-Garcia and Riley Minix. Those 2 guys should round out the entire roster. It's looking good for the Spurs right now. We'll get into more of that as the season gets closer and closer as we do our season preview. But Dylan Harper in summer league basketball. For a long time, I talked about how I would draft Dylan Harper ahead of Cooper Flag. You know, and again, let me reiterate something. Sports is all opinionated outside of stats that are in front of us. You could be a Cooper Flag fan and you can say he's going to be generational, he's going to be the most dominant player. I'm not going to argue the fact of what you're telling me. I feel Dylan Harper was more NBA ready and was more deserving of the number one pick, but that's just me. I watch the videos, I do my research, and that's who I had him ranked number one. The way I had it ranked was Harper, Bailey, Flag. Now my knock on Flag was that he could never be the alpha on a team. Now let's not take summer league here. I mean, it's summer league. Once you start getting the, all stars inside and out throughout the season, the more savvy veterans, you're going to probably see some struggles right there. For all we know, he may not struggle at all, but I do expect to see some struggles for Cooper Flag. Nonetheless, Spurs fans, you got to look at Dylan Harper. Massive block on the fast break that he had. Shows he can get to the basket. He continues to shoot. Even through struggles, he continues to shoot. You're getting everything you've expected and wanted out of Dylan Harper. Can he work his way up into the starting five? That's the question. On paper, I think the starting five is, for me, eventually should be Castle, Fox, Harper in the backcourt, Harrison Barnes, and Wemby. That spreads the floor for Wemby. They're going to have to, he doesn't want to play in the post. I get that. But that spreads the floor for Wemby. You've got two guys that can cut to the basket and get to the basket in Castle and Harper, finish at the rim, big time finishers. De'Aaron Fox can also get to the basket. Harrison Barnes is that deep threat. That's my starting five that I like. I like that. Will it start the season off way? More than likely not. What does that do? That puts your bench at Vassell, Keldon, Jeremy, Cornette, Kelly Olynyk. I mean, outside of Cornette, and there were some games there were, but these other guys were starters in previous seasons. So your second unit is primarily guys that used to start. For the fandom out there, hey, it's been a long few seasons of losing basketball. 25-26 was the year I said, this is when they turn it around. I've been preaching it for Locked On for years already. This is the time it turns it around. This is the year. Now, most recently, Gio and I did our top 6 in the West. I had the Spurs 6. Now you're looking at the Lakers with the potential of possibly trading LeBron James. I mean, I had the Spurs above the Lakers before the LeBron trade talks. DeAndre Ayton doesn't scare anybody. When Jake LaRavia was your biggest signing, technically, that doesn't scare anybody. Luka can be in the greatest shape in the world, but shout out to Ron Harper. We said the same thing. Is he going to play defense? Luka doesn't play defense. He's a scorer. He's an offensive guy. There's no more defenders on that team. Dorian Finney-Smith, bye, gone. I mean, the Lakers are in shambles. The Warriors, yeah, I can see the Warriors. But at the same time, I just think you haven't seen that Jimmy Bucket implosion that we kind of get when he's on teams. Could happen this season. Will it? I don't know. Right now, guys, I think Vegas has them at 44 wins? I that's kind of where I've got them at right now. 44, 45. I'm not a homer, obviously, because I don't call people generational. I'm not a homer. I'm calling it like I see it. I had them at 22 wins a couple of years back. They got to 22 wins. Last year, I had them around that 32, 33 win mark. They got to what, 34? 12 wins. Can they get another 10, 12 wins? Yeah. You haven't had a full season of De'Aaron Fox with the Spurs. Once he came, you saw a different style of Spurs basketball. Get excited. This is a very deep team. This is a very deep Spurs team. They're not title contenders. Let's pull that back here. They're not title contenders. They are a play-in team, but I've got them already knocking on the playoff door. And it's not Homer here. I'm not doing Spurs Homer shit here. Just look at everybody else. OKC, obviously. Denver. I have Denver as the best team in the West right now. Hey, OKC, I know you just won the title, but Denver reloaded. Denver reloaded big time. A healthy Denver team, holy cow. Dallas, Houston, those are my top 4 teams right now in the West. Minnesota, I've got them 5, but I still have questions, even from back-to-back Western Conference Finals appearance. I have questions on Minnesota. It's Ann Edwards, is he the face of the league? He's this, is that. Who cares? Are you going to get a consistent Julius Randle? Are you going to get a consistent Rudy Gobert? You re-signed Naz Reid, but you saw a struggling Minnesota team go into the playoffs and turn it up and get to the Western Conference Finals again. They're too wishy-washy for me. Then you go to other teams, like I mentioned, Golden State. I'm waiting for that Butler implosion. Then you go, what? Phoenix? Bye. No, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Phoenix with Kobe Brea, who was drafted in the second round this past year. We're getting into the draft picks here in a minute. Him and Devin Booker, that could be a really nice little team they got going there. But not enough. Portland it's on its way, but not enough. Not quite yet. Shout out to Hanson Yang. Talked about him too. Who else? Memphis? Up in the air. It's up in the air. The Pelicans? Nah. Can't really get anything on the Pelicans. The West is not looking tough 5 down. The top 4 teams are there. I mean, you can't deny the top 4 teams. There's no doubt about that. So that's why I've got the Spurs up there right now. They've got perennial all-star Victor Wembanyama. They've got an improving Stephon Castle coming off of a Rookie of the Year campaign. You got 2 great rookies that one can make an impact. The other one can make a difference. And that's just playing defense. Just make a difference. You've got De'Aaron Fox, who can have buku good nights, can be a potential all-star. Keldon Johnson has shown what he can do as a 6-man. Could have been in the 6-man running easily. Devin Vassell, if he goes into that reserve role, another guy that can give you 16, 17 points a night off of that reserve role, which I think fits him way better than a starter role. Jeremy Sohan, you get him in there for that, 18 minutes a night, 19 minutes a night. You're not asking to do much. Olynyk and Cornette, the perfect guys to back up Victor. They can even play right next to Victor. Have a little twin tower thing going. It is a very loaded team right now. Just like we mentioned, the draft. Jacob Erickson here, grading the market. We will be back. They will be back. Yeah, shout out to them too. The draft was loaded, man. We were telling you guys about the draft. This draft was going to be loaded with potential all-stars, potential superstars, guaranteed all-stars. But you're also going to have guys that are going to make immediate impacts. You're seeing it in Summer League. Guys like Reed Shepherd from last year. Shout out to Reed Shepherd. I was very hard on him. I didn't believe anything in Reed Shepherd. The jump shot that he had coming in had a massive hitch in it. He's really worked on that. Playing out of his mind. He's going to get minutes in Houston. No doubt about that. Could he take over for Fred VanVleet? It's possible. I think so. I really do. But you've got guys like Trey Johnson out of Texas, who would have been one of the guys that I figured if the Spurs drafted, 8-14 or 9-14, where they were supposed to draft, that was the guy I had circled, Trey Johnson. Try to get him. VJ Edgecombe. He's going to make a difference in Philly. It makes it easier for them to move a Paul George or somebody. Hell, I'll be honest. It makes it easier for them to move a guy like Tyrese Maxey and play VJ Edgecombe and Jared McCain, who, barring injury, Spurs fans, McCain would have been Rookie of the Year last year. It's called a spade a spade. He would have been Rookie of the Year last year. Stephon had a great season to be Rookie of the Year, but had Jared McCain not been injured, you're looking at the Rookie of the Year right there. Obviously, you know what Cooper does. Cooper threw up 30-plus against the Spurs. Dallas said, we're shutting you down. Dylan Harper, 2 games with the Spurs. Like I said, great first game. Bad second game, first half. Came back very strong. That's why he was the most ready NBA player for me in this draft. Out of the top 5, Con Knueppel is the only one that's struggling this summer. I had doubts on Con. I feel he's going to be a really good player. But like Gio says, shout out to Coach Gio, it's where you go in the draft to the team that makes a difference. I don't know if the Charlotte Hornets was the perfect team for Con Knueppel. Haven't got much of Ace Bailey, but you see the potential in Ace Bailey. Jeremiah Fierce, it's going to be good for Pelicans. Brooklyn, I don't know. We're going to leave Brooklyn off to the side here. They drafted like 40 players in this draft. We're going to leave them off to the side. Other outstanding players. Noah Senge by the Bulls. Yeah, he got dunked on by Johnny Furphy. But he's still putting up some numbers. Derek Queen started off pretty hot. He's cooled off. Hansen Yang. He was my super sleeper on the Locked On Spurs show when we talked about it. And people thought, I didn't even expect him to be drafted in the top 20. Hell, not even in the first round. Portland took him. The kid has a very big basketball IQ. It's going to be fantastic. It'll be fun to watch. Walter Clayton. Truthfully, when is the last time you've really seen a guy with a massive March Madness run get drafted into the NBA and continue that run? Doesn't happen a lot. Player of the tournaments and all that, it doesn't happen a whole lot. You don't see that a whole lot. He's having a great game. A great summer. He's gonna make a lot of fans happy. Who else we got? Asa Newell is another kid playing really good. Hugo Gonzalez proving why he deserves to be in the league. Boston's got a great one in Hugo Gonzalez. As for mentioned earlier, Kobe Brea. He's having a monster summer league. Maxime Reynaud, another one. Shout out to Matt Guzman. He talked about him a lot. This is a very loaded draft class, and we have yet to see a lot of the players drafted really come out of their shell. You've seen bits and pieces of Kasparis Jakuchonis, Nolan Traore. A lot of these kids are still going to come out of their shell. But this is a very deep draft class. And it's showing why. It really is showing why in this summer league. Rudy Campos Jr. for Sweep the League made an announcement earlier. When we get back from this quick commercial break, we'll make that announcement again to you guys about the rebranding of Sweep the League Network. Real quick, word from our sponsor. Shout out to MCS General Contracting. Are you looking for a contracting company that gets the job done right the first time? Look no further than MCS General Contracting. MCS specializes in top quality concrete work, including patios, driveways, foundations, and swimming pools. The team of experts are dedicated to delivering exceptional results and unparalleled customer satisfaction. At MCS General Contracting, they're not just hardworking, they're local. Based in San Antonio, they are committed to building relationships and trust within the community. That's why MCS guarantees your satisfaction. They pride themselves on getting the job done right the first time, every time. So why wait? Contract MCS General Contracting today to schedule your project and experience the difference for yourself. MCS General Contracting. Building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League.
You are watching Sweep the League TV. Make sure you subscribe and catch our new videos.
Sweep the League TV with Rudy Derrick and Coach Gia. Let's get back to the live show. You are watching the best in the business.
All right, shout out to MCS General Contracting out there. Rudy Campos here for Sweep the League. Again, the announcement we made earlier was Sweep the League's not going anywhere. We literally are expanding and talking to our great producers and our great directors behind the scene. Trust me, I don't make this go. I don't make this work. I'm just the person here talking smack left and right. But shout out to everybody behind the scenes. Sweep the League's growing. It's going to be rebranded, so it's going to have a new logo. Our studio may look a lot different. We're going to have a lot more shows coming on board. So the best thing to do is it's free. You don't have to pay anything. We don't have any subscriptions. We don't have anything. All you got to do is just subscribe to the YouTube channel at Sweep the League TV on YouTube plus PTS TV, Plead the Sith. Subscribe to those two channels. That way you don't miss anything when it comes to Sweep the League TV network. Here we go. Leha's in here. Sweeps is growing and cooking. Let's go. Definitely, man. We're growing. And, you know, a lot of the reason why is because we're not on every single day. Some of those days is because we're actually trying to get things organized. And to be honest, right now, the launch that we're looking at is in October, early November. So right around basketball season starts, that's when we're trying to launch everything for you guys out there. Best thing to do is go to Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button so you're not missed out. What are we talking about? We talked about Spurs. We talked about Summer League basketball, NBA guys doing fantastic job in Summer League. It's going to be a great NBA season. On the West, I'm going to mention again for the West part, you know, I've got OKC, Denver, Houston, Dallas. Those are my top four right now. A very healthy Dallas team could be very, very scary. Houston, they made a ton of great moves, including Kevin Durant. Denver reloaded. They understood last year that they were not very good. They reloaded, and actually, like I mentioned earlier, I've got Denver number one, barely over Oklahoma City right now. I mean, Oklahoma City's the title winners, they're the champion, but man, Denver's did a lot, and Houston is not that far behind. So where does that leave the Spurs? Again, I have Minnesota 5. I've got the San Antonio Spurs 6 right now, but Minnesota is a very scary team for me because I have no idea what to expect when it comes to Minnesota. But we're going to leave all that for when we get closer to NBA time. It's only NBA Summer League. We're not overreacting to anything like that. Spurs are undefeated. David Jones, Garcia, Riley Minix should be the last two roster spots. So I'm trying to find stuff here because, we're going to go on a generational rant, I guess is what it is here. Now, I'm going to start off by doing this because I'm really looking for these messages here. I had a really good one, and I let me see if I can find it. painting the picture. Here we go. So over the weekend, I made the comments, and one of the guys from Locked On Spurs YouTube commented on a post that I made. Now, I made the post and basically said, a lot of dumb shit is spewed everywhere. And I was like, okay, I'm going to bring this up because I really want you guys to see it. So we can kind of get into it here. So let's share it out here. And shout out to this guy. He's an amazing guy. We talked about it and everything's cool like that. So we're going to share this out. So I made the post because Jason McIntyre, it says DeAndre Ayton is statistically in the same class as Nikola Jokic. Yada, yada, yada. DeAndre Ayton ain't nowhere near that class, period. He's nowhere near that class at all. So LA has his man fucked them in the general. Okay, yeah. I agree with that. I mean, we're going to get into all that right now, man, because we're going to clear the air. Leave it to Jeff Garcia. Shout out to Jeff, stirring the pot all the time with me too. Always getting me in trouble, but nonetheless. So I put everybody just spews dumb shit daily everywhere these days. It's all for clicks. Shout out to Zane at Apollo243. Came back at me. Much love, but you just said Wemby isn't generational. So yeah, you're right. Everybody really does spew dumb shit for clicks. Okay. So of course I leave my Ric Flair says, prove to me how he is at this point. I don't care about clicks. I don't say dumb shit to say shit. If you want to know, prove it to me. So basically, if you've listened to Sweep the League and our network, especially Sweep the League TV, we're going on, oh golly, man. We started in 2016 as the Rated R podcast. So going on 10 years roughly of doing this thing, I'm going to flat out tell you guys this. I don't give a shit about clicks. I don't care about clicks. What I post on my timeline is my stuff only. If I get 1,000 clicks on it or likes, great. If I get 1,000 views on it, awesome. If I get 0 views and 0 likes, guess what? I don't care. It doesn't bother me because I post stuff on my timeline for my own sake. If you want to agree with it, cool. If you want to disagree with it, cool. I am all for getting disagreed with. As Zane did. And he, him and I went at it a little bit, but at the end of the day, like I told him, I'd rather have a good conversation and you make your point rather than other people coming on and, well, you're a dumbass. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know basketball yet. Well, why do you say I don't know basketball? Give me your reasoning behind it. So shout out to Zane at Apollo 243. We had a great conversation that day. He gave me some stats. And the thing with him is that he did come back and he did say, and I quote, first rookie ever with the stat line. Led NBA in blocks, defense player finalist snubbed, year 2, game of the year 2 stats. And basically, if you take what he said, the first rookie ever with that stat line, David Robinson had better stats, with the exception of the assist, I believe is what it was. And of course, 3-point shooting. I mean, David Robinson's never going to be was never a 3-point shooter. So outside of those two things that Wemby was better on, David was better overall. Now, again, my post was, you said the first ever player with that stat line. But yet he only beat David in 2 categories. So it's the wording thing with me. It's the wording. If you word it one way and it checks out, high five. If you word it another way and it doesn't, I'm going to say, hey, it doesn't check out. So if you get into the technical side of things, he said, well, if you average the assist and you average the 3, basically, if you chemistryed everything, then Victor had, a better stat line, better than anybody ever. I don't have enough time to do all the research on stuff. Yeah, I talked to, Derek Gervin and I talk a lot. Derek was kind of like, well, that's a very big stretch. But nonetheless, I'm not here to cook Zane. I'm not here to cook him at all. Great conversation. Him and I went back and forth. So what it comes down to is this. I personally was asked, and I've been called, a dumbass. I've been called that I don't know shit about basketball. I've been said, and for all you guys out there with burners, and Zane, I apologize to Zane too, because I thought he was a burner account. He only had like 3 followers. So I figured, well, here we go again. More people with burner accounts, more people who can't post from their own profile because I'm going to say it, because they're pussies. They don't want to post from their own profile, which is, it's stupid. You shouldn't be doing that. If you've got enough balls to say it, post it from your own page. That's all I got to say on that. But I thought he was a burner. He wasn't. But I mean, you got other people burner accounts, okay, whatever. I don't care. But because I personally, me, do not consider Victor Wembanyama generational, you would think the city of San Antonio was burning. You would think that, I'm being hunted like if I'm on the Running Man. Because I don't agree with that, or I say he's not generational. In one of my posts, my words are, there are two guys that I consider 100%, hands down, no doubt in my mind, generational. That is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Michael Jordan. Now, I did say on my post as well, there are a lot of players I would consider generational. When I say I would consider them, yeah, they pass a lot of the generational, categories. For me, it's about winning. Tim Duncan is in that category of, I would consider Timmy generational. Never had a losing season. 5 titles, 5-1 in the finals. Should have been 6-0. Almost put up a quadruple double, which he did put up a quadruple double. But almost had a quad double in an NBA Finals game. But I have the most nitpicky things on stuff. I look at it, what is the one thing Timmy wasn't during that entire career? Was he the most dominant player in the game of basketball for majority of his career? That's nitpicky stuff. I know it is. But Tim Duncan is a guy I would consider generational. You want to call David Robinson? I got flack for not calling David Robinson. People that, come at me that are in San Antonio for not saying David Robinson was not generational. David Robinson is a player I could consider generational. I could consider him generational. He revitalized the center position. He was the first center that truly played like a guard, could dribble, get to the basket, very quick on defensive side. His rim protection was that was generational too. Because you started to see centers come after him. Alonzo Mourning, players after him that started to play similar to his game. So I could consider him a generational player. But the thing is at the end of the day, they're considered. I've only got 2 guys, and this is where it kind of gets a little shitty, I guess, for everything else here. Let me answer generational for you guys, because people take social media, people take what other people say so serious. So follow me on this little path here. At the end of the day, because a player doesn't start their career as generational in a person's eyes, doesn't mean they can't be generational when it's all said and done. Nikola Jokic is putting up generational numbers. Now, personally, I've seen video of Arvydas Sabonis in his prime. That's generational. Sabonis was never generational in the NBA, but if you watch video of Arvydas overseas, that's generational talent. A center that could do that. Never saw it before. We're seeing prime Jokic right now in the NBA. That's exactly what we would have seen with Sabonis. And is he generational? I mean, damn near. He's a guy I would consider today, consider him being generational. There's a couple of times he should have won MVP, and he didn't. That is the type of player that's generational. I will not go on record and say Victor Wembanyama is generational right now. Right now, he's not. And the people that come at me on X it's, well, you know, you've never seen a 7'4", 7'5" guy have guard-like skills. Okay. You've never seen 7'4" knock down a 3-ball. Okay. I mean, I've seen 7-footers knock down a 3-ball way better than Victor has. But as mentioned, you're picking parts and pieces of this and that. If you're 7'4" and nobody can stop you in the paint, that's where I think the generational talk should start, is in the paint. Dominate an area. It's not going to happen, obviously. But before I get off that track, I want to get back to the path I was on. Generational talk. For all you kiddos out there. At the end of the day, a generational player. Now listen closely. Now, you know what? Let's take the graphic off here. Listen closely. A generational player is what you want a generational player to be. If you feel Victor Wembanyama is a generational player, a generational talent, that is your opinion. That is your fact in your head. That is all you. If you walked right up to me in my face and said, Wemby's generational, okay. I'm not going to disagree with you because that's your opinion. That's your list. If you've got Wemby, Duncan, Kobe, whatever, they are generational. All you're looking to do is pick a fight with me when, to be honest, I don't give a shit about your list. I don't give a shit who you think is generational. So coming on my page, DMing me, whatever, saying I'm stupid, I don't know basketball, you're talking to the wall, man. I don't care. You make whoever you want generational. Your generational list, your top 10 list, is going to be way different than my top 10 list. You have Kobe Bryant in your top 5. Kobe's probably 10 or 11 for me on my list. That's the thing with sports. A lot of y'all like to talk sports until they say you are wrong. And it could even be I don't agree with that. Then you go from why not, or you go from, well, okay, to complete asshole about stuff because somebody doesn't agree with you. rather than say, why don't you think he's generational? Well, in my opinion, he's not generational because of this, because of this, because of this. You know, I just don't see that. And then you all get all pissed off. And then it's all hell breaking loose. Because so and so said he's not generational because of this. Who gives a fuck? For real, who gives a fuck? Your generational players are not my generational players. You and I can agree to disagree. We can disagree all day over beers, whatever. I don't care. I'm the most easiest person to talk to. You guys that come at me too, you understand, with the exception of one guy. I can't stand one motherfucker out there, but there are guys that come at me. You see how I respond. I don't ever berate you. I don't ever talk down to you. I don't ever make you feel stupid. My biggest thing is prove to me why you say that. Because I really want to know. I want to learn every single day about things. I want to know your opinion. I don't know anybody's mindset. I'm not fucking Xavier, Professor Xavier. I don't know your mindset. I can't read your mind. So explain to me why this, instead of being an asshole and bitching about stuff. Why don't you be a man? Why don't you be a person, a human being, and explain your reasoning, and let's have a talk about it. And at the end of the day, we don't agree with it. Hey, we shake hands, we toast a beer, and we don't agree. No big deal. No harm, no foul. But I'll never make you look stupid. If you want to come to me and tell me, you know, Matt Bonner was the best Spur ever, man, I will smile and say, cool, awesome. Why do you feel he's the best Spur ever? Because of this. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not here to convince you you're wrong. I'm not here to convince you you're right. I'm not here to anything. I'm here to just say, sweet, cool. I respect it. So when it comes to generational, Leha's in here. Keep cooking, my dog. Always, man. You know I always will. When it comes to generational talk, because I don't consider a player generational, because I don't, doesn't make me a hater, doesn't make me a non-Spurs fan, doesn't mean I don't know shit about basketball. I know a lot more basketball than you guys have forgotten, probably. I'm not a hater. I've been a Spurs fan since I was pre-born, man. My mom and dad went to Hemisphere Arena. My mom was pregnant, up in the nosebleed sections at Hemisphere Arena, going to basketball games. And they could smoke in the arena too, obviously. I love the game. I love the team. It's okay to be negative. The Spurs aren't going to cancel you. The Spurs are not going to DM you and say, you are a terrible person. You should not be a fan of ours. It's okay. You don't have to be positive, go lucky all the time. But shout out to Leha. Shout out to Rudy for always keeping it 100%. You know I will, man. I always will. Sam Salinas, appreciate you joining, man. Good evening, boys. I finally made a show. Yeah. Appreciate you coming on, man. We hit that notification button so you know when we go live. Our times are totally different now. But to sum it up, your generational is not going to be my generational. Not yet. Can Wemby become generational? Absolutely. Jokic wasn't generational when he first came into the league. It took a little bit of time. Now you see that boy cooking every night. He's getting up to that generational. When you have a guy that you consider, you know what, he's got to probably be within that top 10. And if he gets a couple more MVPs, a couple more titles, he's knocking on that Kareem door. He's not going to open it, but he's knocking on that door as all-time center. That's what makes you generational. That's generational. So because I don't figure certain players to be generational, I'm going to say it one last time. Who gives a fuck what I feel, what you feel? Who cares? It's sports, man. You should care about family. If you're a belief and a religious guy, you should care about your religion. Care about the friends you have. Sports doesn't give a shit about you. So you shouldn't care about sports as much as some of y'all do and coming after people because they don't agree with what you feel. Some of you guys are cowboy homers. And some of you guys will come after me when Gio and I have said, Troy Aikman isn't the best quarterback the Cowboys have ever had. In fact, I don't even know if Troy was the reason why they won those titles. Hell, we've said Michael Irvin maybe is a bit overrated. We say a lot of shit. But guess what? Take a sip of beer, laugh about it. If I see Rudy, I'm going to ask him, why do you feel that way? Let's have a talk. Is Wemby generational right now? For me, no. For you, yeah. Maybe you've never seen a 7'6" guy dribble like a guard. I've seen 7-footers dribble like a guard. 7'4", 7'5". No, I haven't. That's not the only thing that makes a person generational because they can dribble. Hell, the 3-point shooting, we've seen 7-footers shoot 3-pointers before at a better rate, at a better percentage. So, okay. Now you want to get technical, 7'4"? Okay, yeah, 7'4". But blocking shots, Mark Eaton was doing that a long time ago with Utah. You know, stat-wise, we've seen better rookie stats. Wemby is generational for you. He's not generational for me. Not yet. David Robinson may be generational for you. I consider him, and I would consider him generational. But he's not 100% generational. And it sounds like I jumped on at the right time because Rudy was absolutely spitting facts. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. You did. We're kind of at the end of the show here, but appreciate it. That's what it comes down to. So hopefully the generational talk, now you understand where I'm coming from. Because I don't consider a player generational. Doesn't mean that mommy's got to go change your diaper. It doesn't mean that you got to go crying in the corner. Doesn't mean any of that. All it means is that I don't see him as generational the way you do. Just like you don't see people that would be generational to me. Guess what? I'm not going to call you dumb. I'm not going to call you stupid. I'm not going to argue with you. Because as mentioned again, I don't care about all that stuff. You're not going to convince me. And if you do convince me, it's because we had a really deep conversation and we really, really, really laid it out on the line. Maybe at the end of the day, yeah. But that's in person. You're not going to convince me over X. I don't care. And that's why I don't respond to a lot of people on X a lot of times. Is because, man, like I mentioned on X, I have better things to do, like watch paint dry and stare at the wall, than I do arguing with people who just don't see the point being made. Rudy Campos Jr. for Sweep the League. Again, be sure to go to YouTube, search Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button so you are not left out in the cold. Sweep the League is rebranding. It is going to be around October, November. It's not changing the name. It's still going to be Sweep the League, but it's going to be a broader network. So more Plead the Sith, more Sweep Unplugged, Grading the Market's going to get another upgrade as well there. Sweep the League TV. Plus, we've got more shows that are going to cover a ton of whole bunch of topics from entertainment. There's even talk about and it's kind of crazy, but it's even, like not a political, but a world event type of show coming. There's just MMA talk, movie. There's my producers and directors are working on a lot of stuff. So the best way to keep in the loop, Sweep the League TV on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. That way, when we go live, you get all those notifications ASAP. Plus PTS TV on YouTube. That's Plead the Sith TV with Elias. He had another great show earlier today. Be sure to check that out. It's on PTS TV as well. It's on Sweep the League TV's YouTube page as well. Don't want to miss that. I appreciate everybody joining us. We have JD Wyatt, Southern Fried Sports. He's going to be coming on, I believe, Thursdays when we're going to try to get him on here. That's going to be another fun show here on Sweep the League. Be sure to join us on Thursday when we have JD Wyatt here from Southern Fried Sports. Lot to talk about, man. I appreciate everybody joining us here tonight for Coach Gio. It is Rudy Compost Jr. for Derek Irvin, who is supposed to come back soon. Anthony's in here. Great show. Really appreciate it. Joel Cullen, I'm so late. Man, don't worry. Just catch the replay. You don't want to miss the replay. I kind of went a little crazy on the generational talk, Joel. You want to catch the replay, man. Appreciate everybody joining us here again for Derek Irvin, for Rudy Compost Jr., for Jacob, Eric, and those guys over, and Anthony over at Green the Market, Pleading the Sith as well. Sith Elias. For everybody a part of Sweep the League Network, I appreciate you joining us here tonight. Till we see you later, we'll see you later, Knuckleheads.